Imagine an animal so stealthy, so precise, that it can drink your blood without you ever feeling a thing. No horror movie tricks, no supernatural powers, just evolution at its finest. Meet the vampire bat, the only mammal on Earth that feeds entirely on blood. And what makes it even more incredible is how it does it. Smoothly, silently, and almost painlessly. It all starts in the dead of night. A vampire bat lands quietly near a sleeping animal, usually a cow, horse, bird, or sometimes even a sleeping human. It doesn't attack. It doesn't bite hard. Instead, it walks on all fours, like a tiny, creepy little dog, slowly approaching its target. Now, here's where things get fascinating. Instead of taking a big bite, the bat uses its razor-sharp front teeth. So sharp, they don't even have enamel, to make a cut so tiny and clean that it barely breaks the surface of the skin. If a scalpel made by NASA had a baby with a laser, it might be this. The victim doesn't feel a thing. No sting. No pain. Just a silent incision. But this alone wouldn't let the bat drink blood. Animals would heal quickly, or the blood would clot. That's where the real evolutionary magic begins. Vampire bats produce a special chemical in their saliva, called draculin. Yes, the name really does come from Dracula. Draculin is an anticoagulant, which means it keeps blood flowing smoothly, preventing it from clotting. Once the bat makes its tiny cut, draculin keeps the wound open just enough for blood to trickle out like a slow drip. Then the bat drinks, not by sucking, like a vampire in a story. It laps the blood gently with its tongue, as if drinking from a tiny stream. Meanwhile, the victim is still asleep, completely unaware. But how does the bat make sure it isn't detected by body heat? How does it even find the best spot to bite? Here's the wild part. Vampire bats can see heat, using special heat-sensing nerve receptors on their noses. They can detect the warmest, thinnest areas of skin, like a natural biological thermal camera. This allows them to find the perfect tap point with almost surgical precision. And to make things even more efficient, these bats have evolved lightning-fast digestion. Their stomach starts filtering water out of the blood, while they're re-drinking Italiano. That means they become lighter quickly, allowing them to fly away without being weighed down. So why don't animals fight back? Because the bat's method is so gentle, so delicate, that the victim almost never wakes up. The next morning, most animals don't even notice anything happened, except for a tiny, harmless wound. But the vampire bat isn't a monster. In fact, they're surprisingly social. They share meals with other bats, especially friends and family. If one bat doesn't find food, another will regurgitate some blood and feed it. They even remember who helped them and who didn't. Evolution didn't create a mindless killer. It created a perfectly adapted specialist, a creature whose survival depends on precision, stealth, teamwork, and one of the most fascinating chemicals ever discovered in nature, a bat that drinks blood not by force, but by becoming so gentle, so quiet, and so precise, that the victim never feels it at all.